Going live now, Jim.
All right.
Good evening and welcome to the Radical SR8 Championship. Round 4 takes us to Charlotte Roval in the USA. I am Tom Kent in the commentary position. Alongside me is Jim Cunningham, who will be with me over the course of the next hour and a half to analyse not one, not two, but 3 races we have on offer here tonight. We're in the closing minutes of qualifying, and as we speak, it is Jack Veazey who has set the fastest time so far, and others will be hoping to take that away from it. There is a championship point up for grabs in that. We've got a 50-minute race for race 1, the same for race 2, and then it's a 20-minute race 3 to round off the action. Now, we've done 3 rounds so far, with 2 of the rounds already being discounted towards the championship. What I've got is that Mike Bousson is leading the way by 2 points over John Hutchison. Then it's Paul LeMay in 3rd position. He's not around tonight, is Paul, but he has won a couple of races already this season. Jack Veazey 4th. Then it's Luke Maxwell in 5th place, followed by Paul Crabb and Evan Bremer. Then it's Jamie Bird in 8th place. Ben Underdown is the leader of all the AMs. 7 points clear over Stefan Melis. It's Menno de Graaf, David Walters, Michael LeMay, Steve Webb and Ben Gregory, who have scored points so far. Let's introduce Jim into the commentary position as he's been waiting. Jim, how are you tonight?
Doing good. Trying to solve the points, the problem of getting the points up on the screen for everyone. So I was busy with that. But yeah, we're good. I'm excited to be here at Charlotte. I know that a lot of these drivers had experience here, so it's going to be fun to see how they cope with the track that most of them have never run on, or if they did, it was years and years and years ago. So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited.
Let's have a look at the action on circuit, because we're into the final 30 seconds of the session. And Jack Veazey is fastest over Luke Maxwell in second place. Even Bro and John Hudson are not out on circuit, so they won't be improving their lap times. Mike Bousson is also out on circuit as well. Stefan Meles is the fastest of all the AMs at the moment. Darren Nunn is making his first start this season. We don't know for certain whether he's going to be a pro or an AM, but I think judging by his lap times, it's looking like he's most likely going to be an AM driver. Tim Walters has yet to post a lap time, hence why his name has not come up on the timing tower. We've got 14 drivers in position this evening to race. Jack Veazey ends the qualifying session on pole position. That's his first pole in the Radical SR8 Championship. Well done to him. Can he go and get his first win in the series? Let's find out. Let's have a look at the grid then for race number 1. Jack Veazey on pole position with Luke Maxwell alongside. There's Ethan Brummett and John Mahutchison next on row 2, followed by Mike Bousson and Paul Crabb. Jamie Bird and Stefan Millis, who is the highest of all the AMs, in 8th place. Mender de Graaf in 9th and Ben Underdown in 10th. Steve Webb and Gert-Jan Polman are on row 6. The last 2 drivers on the grid are Darren Nunn and Tim Walters.
Well, that is an impressive lap by Jack Veazey. He's been showing speed so far all season, so I'm not surprised by that. But apparently, he has a little more experience here, or this course is well suited to him.
I'm just waiting on a few drivers to make their way on to the grid. Tim Walters, who didn't set a time in qualifying, he's made his way. Can you see some cars are actually at the bend at the back of the grid? So they're most likely not to get off to the best of starts, but they are going to be making up for it at the race for absolutely sure. Mike Bousson, I'm just waiting on now to take his position in 5th spot. There he is, look. And we are good to go for race number 1 here at Charlotte Roval. We've got 1 light coming on now. We've got 2. We've got 3. We've got 4. 5 lights are on. Lights are on. Lights off, it's go at Charlotte Roval, and we are focusing on the onboard there, but now we've come away from Paul Crabb. But it's a brilliant start for Luke Maxwell, who's got into the lead ahead of Jack Veazey and John Hudson, and it's at the back. That's a massive shunt. Plenty of cars involved. Mike Bousson got involved in that, as did Ben Underdown. Plenty of cars affected. Steve Webb is out of it, but Luke Maxwell has got himself into the lead over Jack Veazey. It's John Hudson in 3rd place, followed by Ethan Bremer and Jamie Bird. But all of that was not without carnage. Plenty of cars affected.
Oof.
But so far, it's a clean start for Luke Maxwell, Jim.
Yeah, this is, wow. All right, let's go back and try to have a look at that real quick. This is going to be interesting trying to get this sorted out here.
This is Stefan Millis, who, all of that was contributed by Paul Crabb just not getting away very, very well.
Yes.
So Stefan Millis goes round him. Now, who ran into who? That's what... Oh, Stefan Millis went straight on. Okay, he went straight on to begin with, and there was just further carnage going on behind.
Yeah,
I don't know whether the field was completely caught out by the fact that the first corner was so soon. But we're looking at Mike Bousson now. John Hutchinson got off to a super start there from what was 4th position. Now, does Bousson run into someone here? Because it looked like he did. He just slides. He actually slides.
Yeah.
Gets tapped by Ethan Bremer, which takes
Michael
else
LeMay.
into the barrier.
Michael LeMay.
Michael LeMay ended up in the barrier, and plenty of bonnets flying around, eliminated on the spot with Mender de Graaf, Ben Underdown, and Steve Webb.
All right, let's go back to live. We just had a change for the lead here. Jack Veazey got back ahead of Luke Maxwell and has already put a little quick distance between the two of them. We'll go back and look at the. We got 3 meatballs in the garage from the first incident. All right, let's see what we got going on track, and then we're gonna look at that pass for the lead here in a minute.
Well, Hudson's on the tail of Maxwell for 2nd place, and Maxwell, who didn't compete, I don't believe last week, or it might have been the week before. He wasn't around in Donington as far as I can remember, but he is here this evening, and he's approaching the rear of Jack Veazey for the lead of this first race here tonight in Charlotte Roval. And
Yeah.
so he head over the line to start lap number 3. Go on.
He was with us last week. It was Donnie. It was the week before that that he wasn't there. Yeah, we had him last week though.
Yeah, because I'm sure he came away with one of the race wins.
The
last week
last
at Imola.
race 3, I believe. That's when McCutcheon got in that big incident and tore his car up.
And we've got Miller de Graaf, Ben Unsdown, and maybe Steve Webb all coming out of the pit lane to rejoin the race. Now it's the top 5 that get reversed for race number 2, and the top 10 being reversed for race number 3 on the back of the race 2 result. But it's Gert-Jan Polman is running 5th place. He's running a strong one so far. He's avoided all the carnage, and he's running very, 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 very well. This is his first race this season, believe it or not, Gert-Jan Polman. So he's got a lot of ground to make up if he is going to be in the fight to win the AMS this time around.
Something just happened to Jamie. Or did he just stop?
Something missing on his rear wing's gone, Jim.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, that's why he spun round.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's why. Yeah, his rear wing's gone. Oh, here, let's see. Back up here, something happened to him. Yep, he still had a rear wing here.
This is Paul Crabb going through here. I think he's been hit by Paul Crabb towards the end of the lap. Oh no! He lost it by himself, and Paul Crabb couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, you remember me telling you last week about the curb as you get back onto the oval, how rough it is? That was it.
Yeah.
It's a mess, man. It's brutal. If you catch it, it'll absolutely kill you. Okay, so that's what happened to him. Nothing's changed up here. We're good. Let me see. Now I'm going to go back and find that pass for the lead, if I can.
Well, whilst you're doing that, we can focus on what we've got for now with the live pictures. Jack Veazey's lead is half a second over Luke Maxwell. Huston keeping himself in play. Even Bremer's up to 4th position. And it's Gert-Jan Polman who's 6 seconds back. And just concentrating on his own race, making sure he can win in the AMS and get some points to open his account for this season. Darren Nunn, who has not been appointed a class role within the group.
Once things settle down,
I'm going to be in the AMS.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in the AMS. I'm sure that's where he's supposed to be.
Well, if that's the case, Darren Nunn is in 2nd place in the AMS. It's Stefan Miller's in 3rd. Tim Walters, who did not set a time in qualifying, is in 10th place. Jamie Bird has rejoined the race in 11th position after his repair job. Now it's all about just making sure they get to the end of this first race, get some points on the board. 20 points is for a win in race 1. And we're going to see some contact. Oh, that was Veazey. He nearly ran into the rear of Maxwell on his way into turn 1. That was at the beginning of the 2nd lap.
That was when he passed for the lead, yeah.
It was, yeah. And that was so close to being a different scenario with the pair of them tangling.
Yeah, that was, let's see it one more time from a different angle. Yeah, that was really close, wasn't it? Oh, golly.
He had to duck out.
Yeah, he did. It seems like Luke might have slowed there, like maybe he had a slowdown or something.
That could well be the case, or he just got so far out on the curves to begin with, and maybe Maxwell just didn't envisage the fact that he was so slow coming out of the corner.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, he was definitely those curbs will definitely slow you down for sure. So apparently, Stefan Mellis has had another incident.
And Stefan Mellis, who is running 3rd in the AMS, 9th overall in this race, is 7 seconds off Darren Nunn. He's also making his first start tonight. He's having a good race so far. No involvements in the incident on lap 1.
I know we had a couple of cars running around out there without any headlights on because they lost their front bonnet on the car, so they lost their headlights in the process.
Jamie Bird's got a slowdown, hence why you can see that yellow flag next to his name on the timing tower.
Greatest addition.
Relatively recent addition to iRacing. Yeah,
the best.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
The best. All right, I'm going to change none now. So I'm going to leave your camera right here. Go ahead. I'm going to fix this real quick.
I'll let you do that. And Maxwell is focusing on his job to get past Jack Veazey to take the win in race number 1. And he seems to be enjoying life out there. I do recall him saying that he's done Charlotte Roval before, but not for a few years. And I think you could tell by the fact that these have had to practice a lot and they've not exactly 100% got a feel of the circuit, unlike some.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, Jim. John Hutchinson has had an accident somewhere because you can see that black and orange flag next to his name. He's been in the wall somewhere.
Yep, let's see here what happened to him. Oh, caught that curb. No, he's still okay. All right. Caught that curb, got him.
The next turn.
That's turn 1 right there. Oh.
Yeah, he's clouted the wall and he's spun as John Hutchinson. We don't often see mistakes from this man, but we've just seen it there. And his even is already compromised on the back of it.
It definitely is. Yeah, this track has proven tougher than, it makes me feel good because this track's always treated me rough. It's good to see that I'm not the only one struggling there. This place is tough to drive, man. These curves throw you around. There's no runoff through this section at all. The walls are right on top of you. And it's fast. You're coming off that oval and you're flying into turn 1 there.
Hudson into the pits for repairs. Will he come back out ahead of Stefan Millis? It's usually a fast repair job for these.
Yep, he's still in there though.
He'll fall behind Stefan Millis. He'll fall behind Tim Walters, so he should rejoin ahead of Jamie Bird in 10th place. Now, the best hope that John can make is try and get back into 5th position, but that'll be too far. Even with his experience, it'll be too much of a job to do in space of 6 minutes. And there are the top 2 still. Even Bremer's moved up to 3rd place as a consequence of Hutchison's mistake.
But way behind. He's like 5 seconds behind, I think. Yeah, about 4.5 seconds.
The Jack Veazey is holding on ahead of Maxwell to come into turn 1.
Does seem
over the bridge.
Does seem like Luke's gaining on him though, closing the distance down maybe.
He is. He's closing down enough. They seem to have a feel of this circuit for absolutely sure. I do love this loop section, actually, when they go over the bridge. It kind of reminds me of that go-kart style indoor track.
Right.
You see the cars filtering through. Is that a perfect analogy?
Yeah, that's it. No, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what it looks like. To me, I was going to say, to me, when you go through that section, it almost reminds me like you're driving through a car park garage, and you keep going round and round with the walls right there. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But yeah, your analogy was absolutely perfect.
Hudson through on Walters very quickly into 9th position. Let's see how quick Hudson can go here. I reckon he can try and get a fastest up or something like that. In case you want to know what the fastest up of the race is, that is Luke Maxwell with a 1 minute 11.7.
Yeah, I was trying to set this up to where it would show Maxwell and VZ, but it's not cooperating. There we go. This will show us their sectors to see if they're gaining on each other or pulling away.
Not long left in this first race. We've got two drivers battling for the win. Holman still running in 4th place. Go on, Jim.
No, I was just going to say, go ahead. You're fine. I was just going to say McCutcheon looks like he's about to pass Mellis to get back into 8th place.
He's close enough. He'll get past him very, very shortly here. There they are. Mellis without his bonnet. Hudson does have a bonnet to his car. So I think we know how this is going to play. Oh, Mellis cut across at him perhaps a little too late there. The door was opening. I think he just shot it a little too late. Did Mellis. He survived that, but Hudson will be pragmatic about it. He knows that Mellis will fight for it, but I think Mellis knows that this is a battle he's not going to win. And Hudson goes through that time around. But on they go. Hudson close to achieving his goal. I'll say close to get to 5th position. He's got a long way to catch up. He has to make up about 20 seconds or so, if he's going to finish in 5th place and be on reverse grid pole for race 2.
Yeah, these they've separated here a little bit. I mean, not much, half second, but
there's been no change between these two since lap 2.
No, Veezy's fast.
He's been very quick since the very first round of the season at Soulstone. Jack Veezy, I've been very, very impressed with him. He's picked up podiums along the way, but he hasn't stood on the top step yet. Tonight could well change it in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes left.
I would say as they come to the last chicane of the lap, they've got 2 more laps to go here, Jim.
Yeah. Well, you can see these curves are just nasty here. I remember, I think my first race in a SR8 was here at this track, and I just remember it killed me because I was catching these curves and didn't really know how to drive this car yet, and this place was brutal. I just remember it was a rough night.
So putting on a show with the headlights on through the infield. And looks like they're going to be celebrating, well, Jack Veezy's celebrating a win here. His first in the Radical SR8 Championship. Jan Polman, his first race back this season. Coming out on top comfortably in the AMS over Darren Nunn, who'll be very happy with his 2nd place finish. Well clear of Stefan Millis, who is without his bonnet. And Tim Walters, I think he's just been overtaken by Jamie Bird, or swapping positions with Jamie Bird. He's close to getting some points on the board, which I think will be his first this season.
Jamie shows that he crashed again.
Well, he has, because he's dropped back so much from Tim Walters since Walters got by. Final lap for Veezy and Maxwell. Maxwell's staying in touch, but he isn't exactly just going for it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's focusing more on getting the points rather than the race win.
Well, you got to take advantage of it. Your main competitor for the championship is always going to be John, and John's having a rough race. You certainly got to take advantage of that. Although he's trying to make a run here, but Veezy's too fast here.
Too quick indeed. And he's very close now on his way to his first win in the Radical SR8 Championship. And he's had Maxwell behind him since the 2nd lap, but he hasn't been deterred since then. And they are close as they head through the bus stops to chicane for the last time. And then they've got the next part of the oval to come. And it's one final chicane with those high curves. And the checker flag will be ready for Jack Veezy to add his name to the long list of names to have won a race in this fantastic series. Jack Veezy exits the last corner to win here in Charlotte Roval. It's his first win in the Radical SR8 Championship. In his 10th start, he has made it a win for himself, and deservedly so.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. Maxwell finishes in 2nd, and it's Even Bremer making it to the podium in 3rd place. Gert-Jan Polman, in his first race this season, wins out in the AMS. A great drive and a very comfortable one. Paul Crabb 5th, who will be on reverse grid pole for race 2. Mike Booth on 6th. Darren Nunn will hold off John Mahutchison to the flag here in 7th spot. John Mahutchison will be in 8th. Can he get a fastest lap on the final tour? The answer to that question is no. It's 8th place for Mahutchison. Stefan Mellis will hold on to 9th and complete the podium in the AMS. And it's Tim Walters in 10th position. Jamie Bird, the last driver in the lead lap. And then we've got Ben Underdown, Menno de Graaf and Steve Webb making it to the end despite being caught up in that first lap mayhem.
Wow.
Let's run down then on the result for race number 1 because we'll be going into race 2 very, very quickly. Jack Veezy wins for the first time ahead of Luke Maxwell, Even Bremer 3rd, Gert-Jan Polman 4th, and the winner in the AMS. Paul Crabb 5th, Mike Boots on 6th, Darren Nunn 7th, John Mahutchison 8th, Stefan Mellis, Tim Walters, Jamie Bird, Ben Underdown, Menno de Graaf, and Steve Webb were the rest of those two not finished. Let's run down on the grid for race number 2 as a consequence of that. Paul Crabb is on the reverse grid pole. There's Gert-Jan Polman alongside Even Bremer and Luke Maxwell next. Jack Veezy and Mike Boots are on row 3, followed by Darren Nunn and John Mahutchison. Then it's Stefan Mellis and Tim Walters running out the top 10. The grid rounded off by Jamie Bird, Ben Underdown, Mena DeGraff, and Steve Webb.
All right, good job.
Everyone's on the grid, Jim.
You flew
Yeah, I'm
through
going to have
that.
to interrupt. Everyone's on the grid, so we'll be gearing up to go. The lights are coming on now with 1 light, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on. Lights off. It's go again in Charlotte Roval. Will they make it through cleanly this time? We'll wait and see. Paul Crabbe is at the head of this queue. He's going to go into turn 1 first, but get your Pullman. Got away, but as it swoops his way into the lead, a superb overtake from Gert-Jan Pullman. Absolutely on fire tonight, and he's continuing to set the pace and take over leadership. Paul Crabbe in second place, and it's Luke Maxwell and Ivan Bremer. Jack Wiese has not got to a good start though. Down a place to sixth position at the expense of Mike Bousson. And it's John Hudson, Jamie Bird, Stefan Mills, Darren Nunn, Tim Walters, Mena DeGraff, Ben Underdown, and Steve Webb. The rest of those still running as we progress around the course with Jack Wiese with some work to do.
Yeah, he's on the move trying here. Jamie Bird got a nice start there. He's up 3 spots already after that first race he had was a little bit rough.
And so they come round the next oval. And what a start from Gert-Jan Pullman. And we've got a race on our hands now.
Yeah.
That's for absolutely sure. I just wonder how long it'll be before Gert-Jan Pullman's resistance will be broken by the pro drivers. Will he battle it out with them? We'll wait and see.
Oh.
Paul Crabbe is heading through on Gert-Jan Pullman into turn 1.
That was a nice pass right there. Clean. And Luke is coming hard too. Oh. This is a tricky
Paul
part
Crabbe
of
is
the...
holding on.
That's a little tricky. See that part right?
Contact made between Maxwell and Bremer.
Yep.
Coming out through the infield. It looks like Maxwell's gone off. And we've also got... That's Bremer. Bremer's gone straight off the circuit as well at the very next corner. And that's curtains for race 2 for Ivan Bremer.
Yeah. Oh, where Maxwell spun, that's a really tough spot on the track. That's what I was about to say when it happened. Let's go back and see what happened. Maxwell was, I don't think he got touched there.
No, I'm sure he did. Let's see.
Oh, he had to check up because of Pullman, and he got hit from behind. And then Bremer just went shooting off the course. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Where is that at? Here we go.
Tim Walters also went off.
Oh.
A kick of oversteer and a big crash into the barrier.
Yep, and Tim Walters real quick while we're checking all of these. Oh, he just
contact with Steve Webb.
Yeah, he just kind of ran right down into Steve Webb there. Let me look at that one more time. It seemed like he just turned right. Oh yeah, yeah. It's like he had didn't have no idea he was there, I guess. All right.
And Jack Wiese is without his front bonnet. He made contact in
somewhere.
that melee with Bremer and Maxwell.
That's going to certainly slow him down a little bit. Let's go back up here front and see where Paul Crabbe's got he's got a comfortable lead, really.
Over a second clear, but we know that can evaporate very quickly.
Sure.
Mike Bousson is on the move past Gert-Jan Pullman. And Mike Bousson, with the inclusion of the drop scores, was the championship leader coming into tonight. But that could well change by the end of this evening's action. He's got Pullman behind. He's got Wiese there as well, even without the bonnet that Wiese would have. Bird and Hudson are also still there. It's that high curve. We've seen drivers make mistakes through there, just taking too much and then dropping it.
Yeah, I'm trying to... So Maxwell did not pit. He just... Did he get hit other than from behind that spun him?
I'd probably say so. Yeah. Because Bremer ran into him. I'm sure Bremer ran into Maxwell.
Wiese just got by Pullman.
He did. But
with no nose. Yeah, with no nose, though. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive indeed from Jack Wiese, who's gone through. And then the next man he'll be chasing after is Mike Bousson. And Wiese is going to be challenging for the championship this season. Bousson is going to be one of those he'll have to fight on circuit at some stage. I'm finding it amazing he's able to get through these chicanes here without that bonnet on, Jack Veazey.
I mean, this car is
the only one that stayed in the pit lane.
This car's not horrible to drive without the nose on it like that, but you know, but to be really super fast and contend with the leaders up here is a whole different story, you know. I'm gonna do this real quick. I just want to jump back and see if Luke is okay, like wheel wise, if he's got a straight steering wheel and stuff. Of course, it's kind of a dark part of the course for that.
Maybe come back to him at another time, because we can't see anything from the steering wheel. Only he can tell us that information. There is Paul Crubb, who's got no such problems up front. It's a long time since we've seen Paul Crubb win in the Radical SR8 Championship.
It is. I tell you what, that livery and going around an oval like this gives me flashbacks at my old age to the to watching Martin Brundle drive the Jaguar in that exact paint scheme at Daytona. When he left Formula One, he came over and drove in IMSA, and that was his paint scheme back in the day.
And he's loving life out there. He's Paul Crubb.
Oh yeah, he's got a nice
Riding the curves. Oh, he's took a bit too much there, I think, did Paul Crubb, and that'll cost him time. Down the short pit straight to turn 1. Buson's in second place. Veazey's all over the back of him now. Veazey's gained up all the time.
This is crying with no nose. And Buson's fast. That's crazy.
Maxwell's up into 8th place as well. He's got past Darren Nunn. And Ben Unsdown absolutely flying now is Luke Maxwell. He'll get past Mena de Graaf and Gert-Jan Polman before this race is over. Right now, it is Darren Nunn who will be on reverse grid pole for race number 3. Through the chicane they come.
You see how rough those curbs are, man.
Yeah.
That's the one on the backstretch. The one on the front is even worse.
I've seen drivers make mistakes through there, as I've already mentioned. But there are no to tell. John Hodgson running in 5th place behind this lot. You can see the pushing. So Jamie Bird taking perhaps maybe a little bit more curb than some. And can Bird get to the end of the race without any dramas like in race 1?
Quick story about Jamie Bird real quick. I was going through some old messages the other day on Discord, and Jamie had tagged me in a message saying that I commentated or cursed him at some race, where apparently I literally said something about him and he wrecked right then. He said, basically, keep my name out of your mouth.
Well, Jamie, be prepared, because we are saying you right now. We believe that you'll bounce back, and then you'll just all of a sudden throw it into the barrier. There you go, I've cursed it.
There, you have done it now. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. It's been fun to watch Jamie's progression, though. He's getting faster and faster, and like I said last week, if he starts to get rid of those little small mistakes out of his...
He's gone through on Veazey. Probably maybe a little bit too much there from Jamie Bird, but somehow he made it stay. I think Veazey had to lift off there and allow him to go through, because otherwise that would have been both of them into the barrier by going over that dangerous curb.
Let's see that from the chopper angle. So Jamie's behind him. He just he just drove it on in there, man. He just sent it. That was a nice pass.
Very nice pass.
I don't think Veazey saw that coming, and Jamie just sent it on him. Oh, caught the wall there.
Clipping the wall. Yeah. Not long left in this second race.
Well, these things are flying by.
I hope Paul Crubb holds on here, because he hasn't had a lot of luck in the Radical SR8 Championship. He could do with a win. Veazey has tasted victory. Matt Hodgson has tasted victory. Luke Maxwell has tasted victory. Paul Lemay has tasted victory. Even Bremer has tasted victory. A lot of drivers have tasted victory already this season. We're only at round 4.
Right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been. It's been spread out much more this season so far than it was it's been in the past seasons.
And the Storming, not a comfortable performance for Paul Crab, but this has been by far the best we've seen from him. After getting by Gert-Jan Polman on lap 2. Polman is still leading the way in the AMs. Also been focusing on the pros here. Oh, that's Bird going through on Buson for second place. He's made it sick. Brilliant pass from Jamie Bird, catching Mike Buson by surprise. And what a race Jamie Bird is having. He clicks the barrier though as he exits the infield back onto the oval. And Jamie Bird having the race of his life. Can he go after Paul Craft for the win?
I mean, I agree with you that I would like to see Paul win because he's earned one, he needs one. But man, the race Jamie's having, it'd be hard for you to kind of not cheer for him too. You know what I mean?
Well, I do stand by the fact that Paul Crab has not had a lot of luck. And
yes.
Jamie Bird is having to hold back here. That's Buson is still over Visa. Hudson's got himself involved in this now. And perhaps Charlotte Roval's not John Hudson's favourite circuit. It wasn't quick in qualifying either. VZ trying to just find a little bit of time on Mike Buson, maybe catch him by surprise in a similar way. Oh, Buson spins! Buson's off! And that allows VZ and Hudson through.
Wow. Yeah, this place is tough. Holy cow. Might be the only track we've ever seen that the only thing ever we've seen that can slow John down is apparently the Charlotte Roval.
He's keeping himself in there. VZ.
Jamie's coming.
Best to hold on without the bonnet on the front of his car. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Bird is all over the back of VZ. Hudson's been allowed through by VZ now. I don't think VZ wants to battle with Hudson too much. I think he kind of wants Hudson to get involved in this squabble for the lead in case anything develops on the final lap. But Bird is right in the wheel tracks here of Paul Crab. Does he go for it?
This is where he
down
sent
the
it.
inside like he did so with Jack VZ.
Nope.
No, he doesn't go for it there. That would have been too risky. He was too far back, I think, to go for it. But the infield is where I think Jamie Bird is best off doing it. Is best off doing it there rather than doing it over the curves around the chicanes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He's clipped the ball. He's clipped the inside barrier as he exits the oval, which won't help Jamie Bird there.
This right here is a tough part of the course, man. It's so easy to spin the car right here. You can't really see it, but there's a elevation change right there. It's not too huge, but it's enough that the car gets really light. And if you're not careful, the back end will come right around on you.
You're not coming through again.
Paul's kind of pulling away from him again.
Turn 10. Yeah, he's pulling away, but watch the gap close down as they exit out of here. Bird's line was slightly better than Crab's. No doubt about that. And as we see, Bird on the tail of Crab as they come out of that. And is Hudson close enough to get through on VZ? We'll find something. Oh, Bird took so much curb as he went over the chicane.
McCutcheon got by
for the penultimate lap.
McCutcheon's already gotten by VZ right here. Let's go back and see that real quick.
Yeah, just a couple overtake.
Yep, smooth overtake on that. Oh, he almost lost it though.
He nearly put it in the wall, yeah, and that was that nearly backfired from Hudson there. Visa was very clever actually, just allowing to go through the chicane the way he did, and then just nearly got back through again. But still, Hudson came out on top. Yeah,
I think that nose probably helped a little bit. Helped him pick up speed a little quicker, less wind resistance than what Jack's got right now.
We're coming towards turn 10 again. Bird's behind Crab. Crab holds on. But I'm worried as to whether Hudson's going to close in on these two. He probably won't. He won't have enough time to do anything about these two.
No. It's definitely
But neither of these have won a race so far this season, Jim. It'd be a great win for either.
It would.
Over line they come again. Just see how close they are to the barrier. White flag waved. 1 to go.
Yep, here we go. This is a good race right here.
Boussaint's got to slow down. That'll pretty much allow Luke Maxwell to go through into 7th place. The man who was on course for reverse grid pole is Darren Nunn, who is just going to miss out on an AM podium this time around with Ben Underdown up there again. Who hasn't been as quick, although Menno de Graaf has dropped down a few positions from where he was. But once again, Gert-Jan Polman in 5th place overall. Not too bad.
No, he's strong. He's come back with a vengeance.
Some good points to get him off the mark and close in. We'll run down the calendar during the warm-up after this race is done. But I think Paul Crabb is doing enough to hold on here. I don't think Bird is close enough to even think about having a go. He'll have to settle for a 2nd place finish, but it's a great effort from Jamie Bird. But Paul Crabb hasn't celebrated a win in this championship for a long time. And he's going to end the drought here at Charlotte Roval. And he's going to celebrate with ease. Paul Crabb heads over the line to win race 2 at Charlotte Roval. Ahead of Jamie Bird, and John Hudson completes the podium. Jack Feasey, without the bonnet, comes home in 4th. It's Gert-Jan Polman winning again in the AMs. Ahead of Mike Boussaint and Luke Maxwell. The AM podium are rounded off by Menno de Graaf and Ben Underdown. And we'll wait for the remainder of the finishes of Darren Nunn, Steve Webb, Stefan Millis, and Tim Walters. The only driver not finishing that race, Jim, was Ethan Brummett.
Yeah, he got, at the time in the race when he spun, it was just, a bad situation. He didn't have much time left at all. All right, so
just waiting for more cars to head over the line. I don't think Tim Walters has crossed over the line yet, but I think he has now. He just finished a lap down. Did Tim Walters. Let's have a look at the result for race number 2. Paul Crabb coming out on top ahead of Jamie Bird. I don't think everyone's got over the line yet, have they?
That must be what it is, yeah.
Yeah. We just we'll get the results for it. There we go. Paul Crabb wins for the first time in a long time in the Radical SR8 Championship. Jamie Bird is in 2nd. John Hudson in 3rd. Jack Veazey in 4th. And it's Gert-Jan Polman who wins again in the AMs. 2 from 2 this evening for him. Mike Boussaint in 6th, ahead of his teammate Luke Maxwell in 7th place. Then we've got Menno de Graaf and Ben Underdown completing the AMs podium. And followed by Darren Nunn, Steve Webb, Stefan Millis, and Tim Walters. Ethan Bremer, the only driver to not finish that race. We go into a warm-up session, which means we can have a rundown on the calendar for this season, Jim.
There we go.
And here we are. We've been to Silverstone on the historic configuration. Donington, Imola. Tonight is Charlotte Roval. Next week at Le Mans will just be a single race. To my understanding, it'll be a 50-minute race. Endurance event all the way through. Just that one race. In terms of the points, I don't think that's been 100% decided yet on how the points are going to be decided for that. But we'll know sooner rather than later. Then we go down under to Phillip Island, Zandvoort, Netherlands, Suzuka, Japan, Thruxton, UK, and it's off to the historic configuration of Monza around the ovals. It'll be very fun, just as it was last season on October the 13th.
Yeah, so my takeaway from this schedule is, Le Mans is going to be fun, right? I'm excited about that. A lot of people, don't find Le Mans to be the most exciting, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Phillip Island, I didn't have an appreciation for that track till not that long ago, and I called I think it was an F3 race or something there, and I realized with the right cars, that place is a phenomenal circuit. And I believe these cars are going to be great there. I'm really excited. And then, of course, Zandvoort. We just all watched Formula One this weekend there. That's a fun circuit. Certainly, Turn 3 is going to be very interesting for these cars. So, and then, obviously, Monza Historic. I mean, that's almost going to be becoming like a classic closer for this series. That place is so much fun. But we got a good schedule coming up left.
I'm looking forward to Phillip Island in particular, actually. It's a very fast-flowing circuit. I've seen SR8's raced around there before on iRacing, and they usually puts on quite a spectacle. I don't think I've seen them round Suzuka yet, though, so that'll be another one to look forward to. Thruxton we've already seen. It's a phenomenal circuit, is Thruxton.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder who had pledged to put that one in. Yes,
well,
it was James Parfit.
Well, that's probably true, but also I'm sure if Jamie Bird had any say in it, I'm pretty sure that he probably wanted it in there too, because last year, or last season, he won 2 of the 3 races there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So what was your take on that last race? Like, there were so many things that were exciting about that.
Well, we saw some twists and turns. Obviously, the incident involving Bremer Maxwell, which changed the race somewhat. But it was nice to see Paul Crabb actually getting to the end without getting caught up in anyone else's incident. Because if you remember in race 1, he got away so poorly.
Yes.
That was almost like watching Steve Webb in the opening round.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't want to mean to be disrespectful
right.
to Steve Webb by any means, but that kind of gave me the rookie vibes in terms of the way Paul Crabb got off the line. It was so terrible. But the fact he recovered from that in race 2, that was superb. So
he did.
It was huge. It was huge recompense for race 1.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely got caught sleeping on the line in race 1 for sure. And again, Jamie Bird, he was absolutely flying in that race. I mean, he wasn't able to catch and pass Paul Crabb. He got close, but man, he had 2 phenomenal passes, passing VZ and who was the other? Was it who was the other person he passed? Busan before he wrecked, or I can't remember now. But anyway, he had 2 incredible passes. Yeah.
Which driver is this thing? And sorry, is Jamie Bird?
Oh yeah, Jamie. Yeah, those two awesome passes he had last race. You know, he was flying.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the drivers of the race. Now I'll take my hat off to Gert-Jan Polman as well for getting his car home in 5th position and winning out in the AMS. So he's got a good chance to get another strong result to wrap up his evening. Might get a word with Gert actually by the end of the night, because this is his first round this season. Maybe we could ask him what he's been up to in recent weeks, and he's probably had a holiday somewhere, and he's come back tonight, and he sounds like, or seems to be rather refreshed and ready to go.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought he said he was on holiday in Scotland, maybe.
Yeah, I do recall that.
I think that's what it was.
We'll ask him what he's learned from that. In the meantime, let's run down on the grid for race number 3. It is Darren Nunn on reverse grid pole ahead of Ben Underdown, with Mena de Graaf and Luke Maxwell on row number 2. Mike Bousson and Gert-Jan Polman on row 3, followed by Jack Feasy and John Hutchison. Jamie Bird and Paul Crabb round out the top 10, ahead of Steve Webb and Stefan Millis. The last 2 on the grid are Tim Walters and Ivan Bremer. We've got Gert-Jan Polman coming onto the grid right now, and we'll be raring to go for the final race tonight, round 4 of the Radical SR8 Championship. It should be fun. 20 minutes ahead, unlike in the first couple of races. We have got 1 light coming on, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on, lights off, it's go for one last time at Charlotte Roval, and a brilliant start from Ben Underdown up into 3rd place as Darren Nunn takes the lead in that pink livery machine ahead of Luke Maxwell. There's 2 cars spinning around though. That has to be Gert-Jan Polman and Jack Feasy. Feasy in the walls again, unfortunately. Bad luck. And I think John Hudson's got involved, Jim.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We'll get a look at that in a minute. Let's let it settle out here just a touch.
And Luke Maxwell's going through on Darren Nunn for the lead at the infield, and Darren Nunn ran wide and let Maxwell go through. Now he's in an AM battle with Ben Underdown for the win in that respective class, and you can see Mena de Graaf going through as they head back towards the oval. But you can see 3-way battle there. It's almost like you can't leave room for each other. Mike Bousson absolutely feeling his way through on the podium, but he's going to get a slowdown. Yeah, he's got a slowdown as Mike Bousson. He went over the track limits, and I think Steve Webb's got a penalty as well. But absolute drama at the start of that. And Mike Bousson, if he's not careful, is going to end up holding the field because he's got that slowdown, which he has to take. Otherwise, he'll be taking a penalty of his own.
Yeah, he's probably hoping that he can do it in the infield, and it won't hurt him as bad there. Let's see if he can serve it.
Go over the drivers going over the curves and hitting the wall, I think, as they come out of there. Steve Woe coming into the pits to service penalty. Gert-Jan Polman's race is over. He goes no further than this, and it is absolutely horrible to see after the successes in races 1 and 2. And now the field are coming through the infield again, and Bird is on the tail of Buson. So we've got Maxwell in the lead, Buson second, Bird third. Darren still ahead of all those in the AMS in 4th place. And it's Bernard, even Bremer's come through well from the back of the field, up from last to 6th.
Yeah, he's flying too. Let's take a look at that opening incident real quick here.
There we see Jack Veazey, and that is, I think that's John Hodgson to the outside. And
well, Veazey just lost it.
Veazey actually caused it because he just locked the rear brakes and took Polman and Hodgson with him.
Yeah, I think
so. It was not Hodgson or Polman's fault by any means. But yeah, I think Veazey just got a little bit too exuberant and just too late on the brakes and locked the rear wheels.
Ewan Bremer is up 10 spots already.
He's up to 4th place, is Bremer.
I know.
Absolutely incredible drive from the back of the field. He hasn't had the best of evenings so far, and this is a chance to make up for it and prove why he's so competitive in this series. He has won a race already this season as Bremer at Silverstone, and he's got a chance to, fight it out with Maxwell, Bird and Buson. I mean, John Hudson is way down the order in 12th place, as is Jack Veazey. Well, they've got no chance of going for the win this time around. No. So you have to say the championship is wide open again.
Well, it's just certainly John McCutcheon. This is one of the worst nights, and the problem is he's already missed a week, so that's one of his drop rounds that he just is thrown away because he missed that week, and now this week it's been horrible for him. He's going to be out of drop weeks.
Is that Bird into the lead now? I'm sure he's ahead of. It's Buson behind him. I was looking at Buson's car. I was looking at a patch of white on his car. I was thinking that can't be Buson's car, but it is. It was probably just the headlights, and you just seen the timing tower go all haywire at the little moment. Menno de Graaf has dropped down the order to P11. He has had a moment somewhere, and I think Darren Nunn's dropped down. Darren Nunn's dropped a ton of places since we last spoke about him.
Yeah, he
Bird
he had a little incident.
Bird is holding on ahead of Buson. This is Darren Nunn, who is going to get hit here by Menno de Graaf, I think.
Yep.
Or does he lose it by himself? He loses it by himself.
Oh.
And
Minnow
that was Paul Crabb running into.
Minnow checked up.
Menno de Graaf.
Menno de Graaf checked up because of Nunn spinning, and Paul turned him when he slowed rapidly like that.
Jamie Bird up from 9th to 2nd already. Another brilliant race from Jamie Bird, ahead of Mike Buson, who thankfully had to slow down. Otherwise, he would have been taking a trip into the pit lane, serve a penalty. But these are the kind of moments that Mike Buson's got to make sure he doesn't make too many mistakes on the back of these, because these are important points for the championship. I think John Hudson's only won once this season, and that was at Imola. Other than that,
that's correct. Yes, he got his first win last week at Imola.
Yep. And Maxwell, well, he's already got wins this season. Paul LeMay has picked up 2 wins. Mike Buson has picked up 2 wins, I think. Even Bremer, I know, has got at least 1. Paul Crabb's got 1 now, as has Jack Veazey. So almost every driver I've seen, maybe apart from Jamie Bird, in the pros, have picked up a win this season.
Right. Yeah, Jamie, I mean, the way Jamie's driving tonight, it's possible he could get it. He's got a big gap to make up on Luke, though. Luke is way out there in front.
3 seconds may not sound like a lot, but it is in this respective series. And Luke Maxwell is making it look so easy. Gert-Jan Polman's rejoined the race now, a lap down. He's a lap behind Darren Nunn, so he's going to be relying on those falling by the wayside between now and the end of the race. 25 points are in the offing for a race win in the final race of the rounds. 20 points for second, it's 19 for third, and it's a point difference for each position downwards. But Luke Maxwell has got it right so far. It's just, can he do it without making any mistakes? Because these curbs are waiting to catch more out here, Jim.
Absolutely, and these walls, they're they're just right there. I mean, there's not an inch of runoff area in some spots on this track.
John Hudson running in 8th place. Veazey's made a recovery back to 7th place, which is not too bad at all. And they've got Ben Underdown, who has not had the best of evenings so far, but he is in the lead of this one in the AMS. And even if Paul Crabb, Jack Veazey and John Hudson all got by him, he'll still take the wins in the AMS. So, but it is less points scoring for Ben Underdown if that happens. So he'll want to try and finish as high as he can to help him in the AM standings. We'll get an updated championship standings in time for the next round at Le Mans, considering that it's just the one race we've got lined up there.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I've actually driven Le Mans a lot this week. One of the events I'm doing this week is there, and so I don't know. I'm kind of pumped up on Le Mans right now, so it's a good time for them to go. I'm excited about it.
7.5 minutes into this one. We're on lap number 7. Here's Luke Maxwell on his way to another win. Jamie Bird on course for another second place finish. He is bound to win a race at some point this season. I know that for a fact for Jamie Bird. Mike Bousson, we know, has won races this season. And even Bremer, we know what he can do. And they're all sticking together like glue at this point now, where they just decided on when to push and when to just hold back in case of a better opportunity to come around. Jack Veazey is closing on Paul Crabb, as is John Hodgson, and they'll all be on the tail of Ben Underdown, I think, before this race is done.
Yeah, they're slowly closing up. It's they really are staying, relatively, spaced out. I mean, they it seems like they've all kind of settled in and found their speed for the night now. Ewan is really pulling up behind Mike Bousson now all of a sudden.
Coming onto the straight again.
I mean, and Bremer was up, 10 spots into 4th by, lap 3 or 4? Something crazy like that.
Bousson being chased by Bremer in the infield. This is the closest battle on circuit that we've got for you between these two. I just wonder whether Bremer's going to have the drive coming back onto the oval to really make a run on Bousson here. As they come back onto the oval, they'll take that high line to begin with before they cut back inside.
I mean, there should be some draft there for him.
I should think so as well.
I mean, he closed it down a little bit, but not a whole lot.
You'd think there'd be an awful lot of draft, wouldn't you? Considering the length of the bankings and being able to be dragged along by the car in front. But it's when they go through these curbs and they're into that turbulent air, that's when it can really put the car off. Oh, that's a bad mistake from Bousson. He took too much curb on that last chicane, and that should be easy picking for Bremer. Although Bousson's going to have the high line over the bridge, and that is going to be enough for him to take the inside and keep hold of 3rd place.
Oh, somebody's wrecking around.
It's Bird. It's Bird. He's in the wall. Jamie Bird in the wall on the exit of the bridge. And that's his race effectively over. What a shame for the man who was in 2nd place, chasing Luke Maxwell down for the win. And he's going to have to wait for another week. And Bousson's off as well.
Oh, no. What's going on here? Wow. Okay.
At least he's able to continue, but Bird's race is done.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's
continuing on, but his car will be wounded after clouting with the barrier.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he didn't hit the barrier. I think he just spun. But, man, look how violent this... Oh, I'm sorry.
Was that I think it was a subsequent spin after touching the barrier, Jim. I'm sure he had another... Because that's Stefan Mellis going by him. It might have been... That might have been the accident, but... Yeah.
He sure is driving slow though for not touching the.
I know. I think he's got damage.
He must, yeah.
If he didn't have damage, he would be going a lot quicker than he's doing.
I agree with that. All right. Yeah, is he? Yeah, he's coming in pit road. It looks like, or he's certainly down on the apron. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's obviously got damage. All right, so
that allows Ivan Bremer to go up into second place.
yes,
Ben Unsdown is in third position. Might boost on spin. Has seen him drop down to P7 behind John Hutchison. And Ben Unsdown on course for not just an AM podium, well, the AM win, but an outright podium.
Yeah. Indeed. Here comes McCutcheon. Won't be as easy as last time. Easy has a nose this time.
As the outcome over the line. Jamie Bird did rejoin the race, by the way. He's in the P11. He's got 40 seconds to make up on Tim Walters, which he won't be able to do in 7.5 minutes. But there we see VZ and Hutchison through the infield again. That's over at turn number 5. They've just gone through. As they come towards 6 and 7.
Oh!
That was a slide, but John Hutchison did very well. What he did was he got on the brakes to stop the car from sliding. And once the car stopped drifting, then he was able to lift off the brakes and continue on. That was good driving from John.
Yeah, it was a nice save. That's it. Again, that's at that same spot I was telling you. It's so dangerous at this track.
VC now in 5th place. A little bit clear of John Hutchison. And we've seen a battle for 2nd place in the AMS. They are Stefan Millis and Mella de Graaf.
Yeah,
this would be a nice battle to watch.
Yeah, they're running about a half second apart here. Oh man, Jamie Bird came back out on track and crashed again.
I don't know if he has done, because he's closing the gap on Tim Walters. If there was damage to his car, we would be seeing a black and orange flag next to his name on the timing tower.
Here, let's see. Something's wrong.
Another spin.
Yeah, but something's wrong there. He was going slow. He was getting blown by, and he was, and then all
was that not?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was that not on the lap? Was that not on the lap when he had damage, Jim? Because I think that might be what it was.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
I think that was on the lap when he had damage, because he was staying to the side of the circuit, and he didn't even bother going through that chicane.
Yeah, maybe so. It shows that it was on lap 9, though. I guess that
lap 9, I think, was when he had the accident.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, we're on 13 now. My bad. I'm sorry about that. I certainly didn't want to wish more bad luck on him. You're the one that cursed him, though.
I'm going to interrupt you because John Hutchison, yet again, has got damage to his car. I don't know where he's done it, but he has now got damage to his vehicle once more. And if it hasn't been punishing enough this evening for John Hutchison, it's got even worse now. And Bird has crashed again.
Yeah.
And yes, I did curse Sam Bird this time around.
Did. I don't know where.
Jamie Bird, not Sam Bird.
I don't have any idea where McCutcheon got damaged. There's nothing that shows him as an off track or anything.
He's going through the chicane here.
I mean,
he's definitely losing time on this lap. I'm just curious as to where he's lost the time, or where he's clouted the wall up.
It shows no incident of any kind for him. I have no idea.
Oh, you can see he's clouting the wall again. You can just see by the handling that he's struggling. He's going to have to make do with it in the remaining laps. There are Paul Crabb and Jack Veazey in the squabble over 4th place. Crabb going defensive. Beasy right behind, up ahead of him is Ben Underdown in the AMS. Oh, so close to contact between Crab and VZ as they come towards the oval again. We'll see a change for position here.
VZ's close enough for a good draft here.
Out of the banking they come. They'll get to the chicane. VZ going for it on Crab. Crab holds his line. They come out of the chicane of turns 10, 11 and 12. They'll head round the banking again. Mike Buson should move in front of John Hutchinson before this race is over. But we will stay in touch with Crab and VZ because this is the closest battle we've got on circuit. For the time being, just VZ kissed the barrier. John Hutchinson comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, it sure hasn't been his night.
We'll get a word with him to find out what's been going wrong with him this evening. I don't know whether it be the circuit or something else.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing it. Crab still holding on ahead of VZ for 4th place. This is great defensive driving from Paul Crab.
This is a good battle, man. Really good battle.
Now they come out with that.
Oh!
It looks like VZ's alongside. Crab didn't get the best of exits out of turn 7. And VZ is able to swiftly head through into 4th place. Unless Crab has anything to respond to that one. VZ going for a podium finish if he can do anything about Ben Underdown in the remaining moments of this.
Yeah, Crab just had a big slide there, too. He's going to lose some ground, and he did not get a good run, get on the straightaway either. This is a little war back here going on, too. Look at these two. They've swapped spots a couple times.
Maxwell and Bremer have started the penultimate lap of the race.
Yeah, we'll get back up there with them.
Stefan Millis and Mendegraaff in their own battle for 7th and 8th. But there's your race leader, Luke Maxwell, over 5 seconds ahead in the lead over Ethan Bremer. Ran off his evening in a fantastic way and reduced the arrears in the championship standings between himself and the likes of Mike Buson and John Hutchison.
He had a race 3 win last week, and if all goes well, he's going to get a race 3 win this week.
And a thoroughly deserved one for Luke Maxwell. Keep his chances in the championship alive. We're only at round 4, but it'll be the halfway point this time next week, and it's an important race as well, which is just that one race over at Le Mans. Maxwell coming round the banking and through the chicane to start his final lap. There'll be the white flag being waved by the marshal. He heads over. It's the last lap now for Luke Maxwell. John Hutchinson rejoining 9th position. Can he go after Mendegraaff and Stefan Millis in the remaining moments of this one? It's very unlikely he'll be able to do so, even with his experience.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What a strong race for Maxwell here, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's on his form, you know. I mean, he last week again he was running well, got that race 3 win last week, and now he comes back and does it again. That's great to see for him. You know, I guess he was absent for one of the early races of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's going to be all up in it, just like he was last year, you know, or last season. I keep saying last year.
He missed Donington, I remember, because Mike Buson was the only Radline driver around for then. But Luke Maxwell has turned this evening into one of his best, and it's certainly been one of the worst for John Hutchison tonight, with even more work to do in the coming rounds. But Luke Maxwell comes through the final chicane for the last time to win at Charlotte Roval. It's his first win of the night, and just like at Imola, he takes the race 3 win. Ethan Bremer, 2nd place, and it's Ben Underdown who completes the podium and is the winner of the AMS. A great drive from Underdown. Superb indeed as the fireworks go off around the circuit.
Wow.
Jack Veazey 4th, Paul Crab in 5th, Mike Buson in 6th place. The AM podium is rounded off by Mendegraaff and Stefan Millis. And it's John Hutchison who will be in 9th position. And what's been a terrible evening for him. And we've got the rest of those to finish. They are Tim Walters, Gert-Jan Polman, at least finished ahead of Steve Webb and Darren Nunn, but Jamie Bird did not finish.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, man. Jamie was having such a fine night. I mean, yeah, that was the McCutcheon thing is the thing that threw me off because I just don't see where that second set of damage come from. What a mess. All right. So we got our results up here. I believe we do.
Here is the result for race number 3 this evening after a chaotic and enjoyable fun night here at Charlotte
it's not
Roval.
Up yet. There it is.
I think we're waiting for one more driver to head over the line, and then we can run down the race result. Here it is. Luke Maxwell takes the win over Evan Bremer. Ben Underdown in 3rd place, had a Jack Vesey and Paul Crabb. Mike Bousson 6th, with Menda de Graaf and Stefan Millis completing the AM podium. John Hutchinson 9th. Tim Walters 10th, and it's Gert-Jan Polman, Steve Webb, and Darren on the remainder of the finishes, 1 lap down. Jamie Bird did not finish.
Well, all right. That was a fun race. Good, exciting race. We had good action in each one of them.
And we look forward to hearing what the drivers have to say about that, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. But what about them? Because I'm sure they've had to experience something either that's new to them or something that they haven't done in a long time. Jamie Bird, in fact, is coming in the live chat saying that he loves and hates this track at the same time. Well, I'll tell you something then, Jamie. Do you know what you can treat yourself to? Some Marmite on a piece of toast. That's the best way to maybe indulge.
What?
Do you not know what Marmite is?
I've heard of it. I may have tasted it many, many years ago. I think if I remember, it was horrid. I might be wrong though. I might be confusing it with something else.
Well, you know why I said it, don't you? Well, I said it because Marmite is one of those that you either love it or you hate it.
That's okay.
The analogy with Jamie Bird, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I like it, actually. It's very strong, I agree, because it contains yeast inside. But, you know, that's just me. I do like my Marmite from time to time whenever I get a chance. We've got Ben Underdown waiting in the interview room, so we may as well just bring him in now, Jim, so we can grab a word. Ben Underdown, how are you? You won out in the AMS in race number 3. And not only that, a podium outright. Congratulations.
Thought I'd best pop in and say hello. Doesn't happen often, so...
We were just looking at you on the replay here, but just talk about your evening so far, because it was a challenging circuit tonight. It felt a bit like a go-kart circuit in the way of in terms of the infield and stuff. But how was it for you at Charlotte Roval?
Started badly and then gradually got better through the evening, so quite happy of how it all finished, to be honest.
And
I thought Jack was going to get me. I thought Paul was going to get me. I didn't hit Mike. That wasn't me.
I mean, it was a good performance nevertheless throughout the evening, and that it was a thoroughly deserved podium overall. I was just thinking about Le Mans next week, because it's just the one race which the Radical SR8 Championship are doing there. But have you done any practice on the Circuit de la Sarthe?
Not yet in this car, so we'll have a go. We'll do some practice in the week, I suppose.
So
hopefully there's not so many curbs, so we should be all right.
This place does have some nasty curves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I was grateful for Luke's video, so I could sit there and practice that for half an hour, going through the last chicane, trying to get.
I mean, it's
something of a sensible line.
Yeah, that's definitely the challenge around this place, especially in these late cars. But I have a question for you off the subject of tonight. I'm not sure how much you know, but there was a lot of conversation as to whether that you should go back into the AMs this season or move up to pro. Because of you had wonderful performance last year, and it was, there was a decent amount of debate apparently whether or not they were going to move you up. And I think ultimately the fact that you didn't, win win a championship probably is what kept you down here. Would you have liked to moved up, or are you more than happy to stay down here for another season?
For me, I like having something to aim for that I can achieve. So being in the AMS, which I assume from the little blue number, I am still.
Yes.
Gives that. That's why I'm still up for race 3 and have been all season. I'm foregoing sleep because you said you can sleep when you're dead. So
That's
I'm
right. You can.
taking your advice.
That's right. You can sleep when you're dead.
That's what you told me. So
that's being
your advice.
that. I do have to preface that by saying that's coming from the guy who takes a nap every single day. So, so, well, I don't practice what I preach, because I take my nap every day. But, no, I just, because, I was involved in that conversation a little bit. And, if I'm being completely honest, I said, that I felt like you could handle the pros, but it would be tough, whereas I thought for sure that you could have a really good season down in AMS, and ultimately they made the decision to keep you down here, which I think is going to be good for you, because I think that you certainly have the pace to win a lot of races down here for sure. So anyway, I just wanted to get your take on that and see what you thought. Congratulations.
That's what I am, thankful.
Thanks. Well, that's some tough
next season we can have a pro-am sort of gig.
That's right. Just slightly move up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's right.
Keep the challenge and fun going.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's plenty of challenge up there with those orange numbers next to your name too.
I can only keep up with them if they drag me along, but don't tell anyone. Shh.
Well, congratulations again. And you got anybody you want to shout out to while we have you in here?
Everyone that's turned up today. I think as fun of and challenging of a circuit as it's been, I think we've all had fun. I hope we've all had fun. See it on there for next year.
Right. There you go. All right. Well, congratulations. Thanks, again. And we'll hopefully talk to you many more times the rest of the season.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
No problem. That was Ben Underdown taking the win, in the AMS in the final race, and also getting the podium as a consequence. Let's have a word with a man who's taken his first win in the Radical SR8 Championship in race number 1, Jack Veazey. A good win, don't you think?
Yes. Very happy to get my first win. Controlled the race well. But still a bit slow to start, so I had to get past Luke in that first race. But once I was ahead, just got my head down, didn't really focus on the mirrors too much, and tried to put in some good lap times, and came away with my first win. So happy with that.
It wasn't a smooth evening though, because you were on the receiving end of collisions, I think, particularly over at turn 1 at the start. Just talk us maybe through that.
Yeah, so in the final race, that's on me. I was just a bit too overambitious. So the corner came up a bit quicker than I was expecting, and I was carrying way too much speed. So, spun myself around, and unfortunately caught John and someone else up in the process. So, apologies to those guys. And race 2, I was, it was a bit of like a knock-on effect. It was, I think it was like the fourth corner. I think the leader had a wobble, and then there's sort of a chain effect, and me and Mike got caught up in that incident, and I lost my nose in that one, so I was battling with a lot of slowness on the straights and a lot of understeer as well.
We were discussing, weren't we, Jim, about Jack's overtake despite the bonnet not being there.
Yeah, I have to say that was pretty impressive. I don't remember. I think it was maybe Ewan Bremer or Busan, one of those that you passed with no nose on the car. I think it was Busan, because I remember thinking,
it was.
Busan's fast, and for you to get by him with no nose, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think he had a slightly poor exit from memory, so I did sort of a switch back. Not sure if he had a bit of damage too, because he hit someone quite hard. He hit the spinner, so I don't know if he had a bit of damage as well. But I managed to get past, and I think I kept the position too. So interesting going around here without any headlights, but manageable.
I was thinking that we were actually commenting on that when you lost your nose there with the no headlights. But you
Yeah,
also had you did a great job in that first race holding off Luke. Luke is fast
yeah,
and
yeah.
he like he had the kind of did he the one that did the video for going around here that everybody was
Yeah,
watching? So obviously he
yeah,
had
he
some
does.
pace, so.
Yeah, he does the track guides. I think he just puts them in Discord. Not sure if he does it every week, but he does it often. And yeah, honestly, I'd say Luke was definitely the second, well, one of the quickest guys here. I think it was me and Luke consistently doing 111s. So yeah, props to Luke. He was really quick today.
All right. Anything else, Tom, you want to ask you?
Just Le Mans next week, Jack. Just the one race we've got. I think it's a 50-minute endurance, and there'll be more points on offer in the offing, I think, because it's just one race compared to the conventional 3. How are you faring for that circuit? Surely it must be a favourite for you.
Yeah, you say that. I hate Le Mans with passion. Anytime it's in officials, I dodge it at all costs because okay, it could be a fun track to race, but I tend to race like MX5s and the slower cars. So in those sort of cars, it's more of like a slipstream sort of race. I don't know how it's going to go in the radicals, but yeah, I think timing's going to be key in that one. And when to make your moves and what lap to give you a good chance of a podium at the end.
Fancy a Mazda MX-5 round Le Mans, Jim?
No, I kind of agree with Jack on that. I like the little bit quicker cars there. Probably as slow as I'd want to drive there would be like maybe a GT3 or something like that. But yeah, I could see how those slower cars would be not as much fun. I got a feeling that these are going to be fun, but I think you're right. It could turn into a drafting situation, and you're going to need to have somebody you could work with, I think, and certainly in qualifying and getting out front where you do have an opportunity to stick with somebody, because if you lose contact and get out of a draft, I think you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's key. I think once you're out of the draft, it's probably game over on a track like that. So yeah, keeping with the train is key, definitely.
Anyone you want to shout out to, Jack, before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to my cousin Archie this week. Shout out to you.
Well, all right. Hello, Archie. If hopefully Archie's watching.
If he's not, I'll get him to check the replay.
There you go.
Left out last week, and I didn't give him a shout out. So there we are.
Jack, thank you very much, and well done on picking up your first win this evening, and we'll see you next week at Le Mans.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
That was Jack VC taking win in race number 1. Let's have a word with the man who, just like at Imola, won out in race number 3 here at Charlotte Roval. Luke Maxwell, 2nd in race 1, 7th in race 2, winner in race 3. Sum up your evening.
I think on the whole, pretty good, to be fair. I had pretty good pace from the outset. In practice, Jack and I were sort of quickest there by a little way. So race 1 was, I guess, going the way of form. Made a little mistake on the first lap, which obviously Jack got past there, and it was just really difficult then to on this circuit. I think passing is very tricky, especially if you're on similar pace. So it's a case of trying to hang with him, really, to be honest, and then see how we did in race 2. And then race 2 was a bit of a disaster. I think it was lap 2. I think Paul Crabb was a bit slow on the apex there, and then just trying to cold tyres, trying to get it turned in, and then Gert was slow behind him, checked up. I checked up, and I think Erwin unfortunately didn't check up behind me, and caught me and spent me around. So it's a case of trying to come back from the back then, which was quite tricky. But it put me in a great place for race 3, and I had a bit of a storming start, I think, in race 3.
You did. That was your start was incredible, actually.
Yeah, hopefully it wasn't too on the limit. There's quite a tight gap I could squeeze through there, but I was holding my breath.
In fact, if we've got it up now on the screen, taking a look at
Let me have a look.
at the start. Well, you're going to be a few seconds behind, but yeah, we pulled it up here, and yeah, you went kind of charging through the middle there. You got off really well there.
Yeah. Oh, it's just about made it.
Considering you're on a banking as well, that's actually quite impressive of a start, I have to say, because not everyone's start has been relatively as good as what that one was.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit of a technique with the dual clutch on this that seems to work okay. I don't know what number I'm set to, but I'll leave it set at that, and I can come off the first clutch, not drop it because that will spin up the tyres, but then very quickly start on the second clutch, and it seems to you kind of like rev up, bog down, and pick up quite quickly. So yeah, it seems to work. So hopefully I can keep getting that right.
Charlotte Roval.
Cracking track though tonight.
That was the next question I was going to ask. Charlotte Roval, love it or hate it?
I love it. Yeah. So I think for most of us, it's been a long time since we've driven it. Probably no one's driven it in the SR8 before. So bit of a challenge for everybody tonight, and cracking fun really. Obviously, it's quite a risk reward circuit with the curbs. Yeah, that's where I came unstuck. I think in race one was just getting a bit bumpy out of the exit of the last chicane, and yeah, Jack was through on the inside. So, but yeah, no, cracking circuit to drive. Pretty tricky to race on, but I think every now and again we should do this one. It's good fun.
The reason why I asked that question.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say the reason why I asked that question. I was just saying to Jim about Marmite, because it's obviously with Marmite you either love it or you hate it. Jamie Bird came in the live chat and said, "Well, to be fair, I don't mind it. You put it on a piece of toast, and Bob's your uncle. It's brilliant."
Oh, I'm getting fully Britished out here now. Bob's your uncle and everything.
You try Marmite, Jim?
No, I maybe once. Years ago, I think I did, but it's probably not for me. What I was going to say though is the turn that you're going through now on the replay here, as I think is an under, not this one here, but the one right before it. I think is
the right hander at the top of the
the
little hill.
I think you don't see on the video the elevation change there and how light the car gets. In fact, did you have an incident? Not an incident, but didn't you kind of have a good wiggle there in one of the races? Pretty hard, I remember. It seems like I don't
think it was too bad. Maybe a tiny bit. It's where you come. I felt. I think in race 2, I was taking a slightly shallower line and braking a bit later, and it seemed to help the car settle going up.
Yes,
but then of course, if you come out too wide, just as you go over the next brow, you're light, and if you're on the throttle not facing in the right direction, you're going to be getting the rear end loose. So I think I got that down quite well. But I think Jack was certainly going a little bit better onto the. I think he was pushing that a little bit harder onto the bank in there than I was prepared to go.
Well, I know John had an incident there where he got really, really loose. But that's always been a spot, and I think it's a kind of a risk reward situation there. I think if you take that turn up as tight to the wall as you can get, it's better. But then obviously you've got you make any kind of little error there and you're into the wall because there's just no space. But
you don't want to be going too wide there for sure, because it leaves you. Yeah, I think it's the undulations more if you're a bit tight there, so unsettles the car way too much.
Yeah, it does. But congratulations, you seem to be coming into form this season again. You got two weeks in a row now. You've won the high points race of the week with the third race. That's if you're going to win one, that's the one to win.
Yeah, it is. I've just seen the points that John's put out, so I think he's top with 110, and I'm on 98. But it's only 2 rounds so far. I've not managed to string 3 great races together yet in a round, so I'll probably need a few of those to get the points up a bit. But we'll just keep going throughout the season, enjoying every week. So
seems like we're getting more winners this year, though. It's not it's not you or John or dominating the races as much so far, and certainly adding Jack to the mix this year is going to be good because he's fast and he's definitely going to win some races along the way as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's obviously a quality driver with his R rating there, and he seems to be getting used to the car as well. So yeah, it'd be good to have him on board, and with everybody else as well. Paul LeMay will be back, and you got Paul Crabb, you got Mike Bousson.
Yeah, it was good to see.
Bremer,
It was good to see Crabb get a win. There, so. It was good to see Paul get a win tonight. I wish he'd have came in and chatted with us.
Yeah. I think he shot off quite quickly, to be honest, after the race.
But all right, man. Go ahead.
Yep. Anyone you want to shout out to, Luke, before we let you go?
No, not this week, guys. I haven't thought about it, but just you guys as normal. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, Luke. Well done on winning race number 3, and we'll see you for Le Mans next week.
Cheers, guys. All the best.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Bye.
And we'll have a word with Gert-Jan Polman because that was his first round this evening, and he's in the booth with us now. Is Gert-Jan Polman, who's away for the first 3 rounds of the season after being away, but he's come back tonight with 2 AM victories. Gert, how are things with you? How was your time away, and how have you enjoyed Charlotte Roval?
Yeah, thanks. I'm very good. I really enjoyed it tonight. It was a fun track. You can really throw the car around, and I did some consistent laps. I think wasn't the fastest. I think I was second and a half of the lead guys, but had some luck in race 1 and 2, and then was able to not make any mistakes.
And how have you looked at the championship so far? Because it seems to be more open than we anticipated. So I think that plays into the hands of you a little bit. Because obviously, with the fact that you've been away, providing you don't miss any more rounds and you score well, you could still be in the running to win the AMs again this season.
Yeah, I was not really counting on that, having missed the first 3 rounds. So I would drop 2 and have still a 1-0 result. But it was fun because I got to watch the races on YouTube. So normally I can't. So it's a really nice broadcast, and it's just fun watching as well. I was away for 3 weeks on holiday in Scotland. You said, yeah. So it was a pity that I couldn't race, but it was nice to watch. And the field is really close.
That was going to be what me and Jim were going to ask about your time in Scotland. What did you learn most about in Scotland?
Yeah, about the Scots, that they're very, very nice people. And also a few weeks off gave me the time to build a proper sim rig, so that has really helped to be more consistent. Last season I was just on a wheel stand. And it really helps to have a real good sim rig.
Yes, it certainly does. At least that's what you have to tell your wife to make sure that she okays it. I need this, baby. It's important.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Le Mans next week, Gert. What are you feeling about that? Because as far as we understand, there's been some form of experiments going on because there's only 1 race next week because of the nature of the circuit. I think, to our understanding, we've been 1 race, and I think it's a 50-minute endurance one. I think there's 50 points for the winner, 45 for second, 42 for P3, and I think it's a 3-point difference for each position downwards. But what are your interpretations to that particular round coming up?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about points because I'm not expecting to get very high up there, but I really love the track. I also love the fact that it's endurance. Yeah, and yeah, it's also having a pit stop. So I like the more longer races where strategy does something, but it doesn't really say I'm good at the track. So it's fun, but I don't expect to do really well there. It's a fun track.
Have you ever been in person?
Yeah, well, not at the race itself. I drove there once on a holiday on the public roads and been to the museum. And I watch every year the 24-hour race, so
Yeah.
it's something I really love.
And we all love the 24 hours of Le Mans. There's nothing like it, not in my opinion, anyway. Anyone you want to shout out to, Gert, before we let you go?
Well, let me shout out to my wife then for having to put up with me
With the new
disappearing
rig.
every Monday night. Yeah, and confiscating a room in our house to build a rig. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Gert, it's good to have you back in the Radical SR8 Championship. Hope you've had a brilliant time. Good to hear that you've had a good time in Scotland as well. And best of luck for the rest of the season, including Le Mans in 7 days' time.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Gert. Well, Jim, it's been a fun evening of action here at Charlotte Roval. First time I've experienced the circuit, particularly the infield section. I have to say, it's put on quite a spectacle for everyone that's been watching this evening, and I think it's been quite a challenge for the drivers tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely a circuit that needs to make the list every, like Luke said, every couple of seasons or something to pop back in here. This is again, with the challenging curbs here, it really rewards precise driving because obviously you can get punished if you miss. So yeah, I think it definitely has a place in the series, and with these cars, it's a good pick. It was a good pick.
I would say it was a good pick as well, and I wouldn't complain if it was on the calendar again next season. Will it be on the calendar again next season? Do let us know in the live chat. Well, thank you very much to everyone that's been tuning in, and thank you to Jim as well for my company over the course of tonight. Do make sure you like and subscribe to JB Broadcasting. You can keep right up to date with all the action that is being streamed on the channel itself, so you won't miss a thing. Next week is Le Mans, just the one race, 50 minutes, that it will include a pit stop for these Radical SR8 drivers. How will they do? Well, you know where to watch it in 7 days' time. I am Tom Cairns with John coming in, and we'll speak to you again soon when the Radical SR8 Championship returns.